Hey everybody, Donald here from Otaku Podcast, and we are pleased to announce that version 2.0 of the Otaku Podcast app is now live in the App Store. Let me give you a quick demo. First of all, sorry for the poor video quality. Unfortunately, the only way I can film my iPhone is actually point a camera at it. Alright, come on. There we go. So when you tap into the app, you'll notice that first and foremost, you'll get this screen showing the latest audio and video podcasts. And we can actually tap into an episode. And you'll notice here that you can look through the show notes. It's fully rendered in HTML. And if we see a link that we want to go to, we can tap it and have the option of going to it in the Safari web browser. But the whole point of this is to actually play the podcast, so we can do that down here.
Otaku Podcast, episode 27 for Monday,
Now you see,
September 19th.
we can play and we can pause, and
On 2011,
you can use this scrubber bar to change position in the audio.
Local taiko group from Miyagi that
We can go back and look at the video player. Again, we have this lovely web view that lets us look through the show notes, and when we're ready to play it, you can hit play.
on the podcast feed over
The
next
app
few
now
weeks.
fully supports background
This is
audio.
definitely not the last time we're going to be doing this.
As you can
I foresee
see, we could
more
go to the home
Otaku-thons in the
screen.
future,
We
but
can
need your
open
help.
up different
We need
apps
more
in the
people to
Safari,
join
and you
next
can hear the
time.
audio still playing.
So please keep an eye on the
And now if we
Otaku
pull up
Podcast
the remote
website,
control
as well as our Twitter and Facebook.
audio controls, you'll
We'll
see
announce
Otaku
when
no
the next
Podcast
Otaku-thon's
icon
gonna
there,
be.
and these buttons
Call us.
control the playback.
Just a couple of quick announcements.
Now, going back to the screen here, we have buttons. Oops, sorry, I just tapped into an ad. Well, as you can tell, the app is now ad-supported. We're using the iAd system from Apple. I think these are pretty good ads. They're very unobtrusive. They don't slow your phone down. You know, they don't jump and flash at you like Punch the Monkey. So I think they're pretty good as far as ads go. But if you like, there is an option to eliminate all ads. We'll see that later. Anyways, let's go back to the podcast screen. You can see here that we can also look at all the previous audio and video podcast episodes. So let's tap into that here. And here you can scroll through the list of all of our, in this case, all of our previous audio episodes. And we can look at the show notes, read about them, and go visit any links that interest us, and we can play the audio.
Otaku no Podcast, episode 19 for Friday, March 25th.
You get the idea. Now let's move on to the blog tab. So this lets you read all the blog postings. Again, we can tap in and read a posting. And again, if we want to visit a link in the blog, we can tap it. Now, the app now supports various ways of sharing any blog posts you're interested in via through either email or Twitter. So we can tap this button up here. Of course, we can also choose to open the particular blog post we're looking at in mobile Safari if we wish. But let's look at the sharing options. We can share via email. And again, this puts up a little email dialog. We can, type in someone's email address. And as you can see here, it's filled in the text of the blog post, fully rendered in HTML. And you can send that to people. But if your phone is running iOS 5, which is due to be released tomorrow, that's September 12th, you can actually use iOS 5's built-in Twitter support to tweet a story that you're interested in. So we can hit tweet this, and I never set up Twitter on this phone, but you get the idea. It basically puts up a little tweet dialog that lets you tweet the story, complete with a link to it. Okay, let's move on to the Calendar tab. This displays our convention calendar, which is all the various anime conventions that we're interested in. New York Anime Fest is coming up this week, and next month is PMX. Now, at any time, you can return to today by just shaking your phone. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention is whenever you have a list, like listing of blog posts or whatever, you can actually refresh that list by just pulling down and letting go. Let's move on to the Twitter tab, the Tweets tab, which, as its name implies, basically lets you read our latest tweets. Pretty simple. And again, if you have iOS 5, you can tap this button up here to send us a tweet. Lastly, let's look at the Contacts tab. Contact Us tab. Here you can dial us by phone. If you have an iPhone, it'll actually dial. You can send us an email, or if you have the free Skype app installed, you can tap the Skype button to call us via Skype. Let's send an email. And again, it just basically puts up a little email box, and it has the feedback at Otaku no Podcast email address already filled in, and you can, send us whatever you want. One thing that we would really appreciate is if you do happen to find a bug in this program, being a complete rewrite, there's bound to be some bugs. Use this feedback form and tell us about it. Finally, as I've mentioned on the website as well as many times before, this is complete volunteer effort. I run the blog and the podcast mostly because of my love of anime and because I like playing with technology like mixers and servers and things. So any help that you can provide is greatly appreciated. One way to do that is to make purchases through our various affiliate networks. And if you tap this button, how you can help, sorry about that, you tap this button here, it will actually take you to a page on the Otaku no Podcast website that will describe the various ways that you can help out. We are once again an Amazon affiliate. We also have affiliates with Right Stuff, Crunchyroll, JList, quite a few others. And of course, you can always donate as well. But let's go back to the app. One way you can help, though, is like we've mentioned before, the app is now iAd supported, and we'll get a little income out of that. But if you choose that you'd rather not have ads, you can actually choose to remove them for a small fee. We're charging 99 cents for this, and again, this is just another way that you can help us out. So that's it. Otaku no Podcast app version 2.0. It's in the App Store right now. Go get it. For Otaku no Podcast, this is Donald Burr saying sayonara, jane.